Hi guys, welcome to Shifting Gears and welcome inside the 2022 Maruti Suzuki Baleno. मेरे साथ इस गाड़ी का 1.2 लीटर पेट्रोल अल्फा यानी कि टॉप ऑफ द लाइन AMT AGS वेरिएंट है. This is the most expensive variant of the Baleno that you can buy here in the Indian market. इस वेरिएंट की कीमत शुरू होती है from ₹9,49,000 ex showroom. Prices for the new Baleno, starting from the base model, start from ₹6,35,000 ex showroom. Baleno के साथ आपको डीजल इंजन ऑप्शन नहीं मिलता है. You only get a petrol engine option with a manual or an automated manual transmission gearbox option. You do not get the CVT automatic gearbox now with the new Baleno. CVT is gone, AMT is in. Maruti Suzuki का कहना है that they have done this so that the acquisition cost is much lower, so that more and more customers can actually buy this new Baleno, and they think that this AMT gearbox variant will appeal to the masses. इस वीडियो में हम बात करने वाले हैं ड्राइविंग एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में. We are going to share with you how good this petrol AMT petrol AGS combination is. हमने एक सेपरेट वीडियो अपलोड किया है फॉर द मैनुअल गियरबॉक्स ऑप्शन, एंड वी ऑल्सो हैव टू सेपरेट वीडियोज, वन फॉर द एक्सटीरियर एंड वन फॉर द इंटीरियर ऑफ दिस न्यू एज Baleno. As you can notice, there are a lot of Balenos out on the street where we are driving right now, because we are at the official media drive for this 2022 Maruti Suzuki Baleno. It is updated. There is a lot that has changed. The body in white is different. The car's weight has gone up. There is a lot of change to the chassis, to the suspension components, to the braking hardware, and even the sheet metal is different compared to the previous Baleno. Feature additions भी बहुत सारे हैं. So let's talk in step-by-step fashion. Now with this 2022 Baleno, you get a 1197cc, a 1.2 liter engine, and it produces 90 PS of power at 6,000 RPM and 113 Newton meters of torque at 4,400 RPM. ये एक 4-cylinder मोटर है, and the curb weight of this car ranges from 920 to 960 kgs. आज हमारे साथ इस गाड़ी का टॉप ऑफ द लाइन वेरिएंट है, and this variant has a curb weight of 960 kilograms. ये गाड़ी जो है 16 इंच के अलॉय व्हील्स का इस्तेमाल करती है. 37 लीटर्स की आपको फ्यूल टैंक कैपेसिटी मिलती है. And in terms of mileage, Maruti Suzuki claims that the MT manual variant will deliver 22.35 kmpl and the AMT AGS variant will deliver 22.94 kmpl. So impressive numbers and typical of Maruti Suzuki. Their cars are famous for कितना देती है. They are very very efficient. अभी सबसे पहले जिस फीचर के बारे में मैं बात करना चाहता हूँ, that is the auto start stop functionality. सो जैसे ही आप एक स्टैंड स्टिल पे आ जाते हो, गाड़ी की इंजन अभी बंद हो चुकी है, एंड व्हेन द इंजन शट्स ऑफ आपको AC परफॉर्मेंस में भी डिफरेंस फील होगा. द फैन ब्लोअर सेटिंग विल ऑल्सो ट्वीक अ लिटिल एंड यू विल नोटिस इट. आपको जो फैन ब्लोअर की आवाज़ सुनाई देती है वो आपको डेफिनेटली चेंज होते हुए फील होगी. नाउ इफ आई वॉन्ट टू फायर अप द इंजन, आई कैन जस्ट रिलीज द ब्रेक प्रेशर ऑफ द पेडल. पूरी तरह से मैंने ब्रेक पेडल पे से पैर नहीं हटाया है. यू कैन नोटिस दैट द कार इज नॉट मूविंग, लेकिन इंजन जो है अभी शुरू हो चुकी है. अगर आपको ये स्टार्ट स्टॉप फंक्शनैलिटी बंद करनी है, यू गेट अ बटन टू द राइट हैंड साइड ऑफ द स्टीयरिंग व्हील एंड यू कैन स्विच दिस फीचर ऑफ इफ यू आर really stuck in a bad traffic jam, so that the engine doesn't shut down on and off again and again, and your cabin stays cool also, so that you are comfortable in this new age Baleno. But with that feature, you are going to get incremental mileage. So that is a good feature. That is a good thing. Why do you want to burn fuel when fuel prices are skyrocketing? And also, because of that, you are also being cleaner and greener and, just helping the environment. Now, when you lift off from the brake pedal, I am driving in standard D mode. अभी ये Baleno 1.2 petrol AMT जो है, it is effortlessly crawling. And it is crawling at close to 15 kilometers per hour. But I think we are on a downhill patch, so it is picking up pace. Let me make a quick U-turn and let's check at what speed this premium hatchback crawls. So coming to a standstill, जब आप ब्रेक पेडल को रिलीज कर दोगे व्हेन यू आर कम्यूटिंग इन बम्पर टू बम्पर ट्रैफिक, इन स्टॉप एंड गो ट्रैफिक, ये जो AMT AGS वेरिएंट है, इट विल क्रॉल बिटवीन 10 to 15 किलोमीटर्स पर आवर डिपेंडिंग इफ देर इज अ डाउनहिल. अगर डाउनहिल होगा तो गाड़ी थोड़ी तेज आगे बढ़ जाएगी. It also gets hill hold by the way with ESP. So if you are on an incline patch and when you release the brake pedal, गाड़ी जो है पीछे roll back नहीं होगी. So that is a good safety feature to have. So if you are a beginner, if this is going to be your first car, this car is going to ensure that you are safe and you drive in a nice and progressive manner and you are not the reason for a traffic jam behind you. Now, listen to the engine. Engine NVH जो है वो overall decent है. I am going to come to a standstill. I am going to switch off auto start stop. Now let's focus on the NVH package of this car. Listen to the engine. इतनी engine की आवाज आपको कैबिन में सुनाई देगी. And I think it is quite pleasing. I have no problems with this engine note creeping inside the cabin. I'm going to make a quick U-turn and I'm going to sprint. I'm going to kick that throttle pedal to the metal, and now you listen to the engine, all right? Sounds decent, not at all coarse, and the engine note is not something that is going to trouble you inside the cabin. Now I'm going to take manual control over this AGS AMT gearbox. So downshifting. Keep listening to the engine, guys. अगर आप मैनुअल मोड में गाड़ी चलाने वाले हो, if you forget to upshift, you will bounce on the rev limiter. गाड़ी जो है खुद से अपशिफ्ट नहीं करेगी. You will have to do it by yourself. So this is an AMT. This is not a proper automatic. So check this out. You will have to upshift to keep picking up pace so that your momentum gain is progressive. Because since there is no proper automatic, this is not a torque converter, this is not a dual clutch automatic, this is not a CVT, this is an automated manual transmission. So if you are going to drive it in manual mode, if you are going to take manual control over the gearbox, that gear shift will have to be done manually by you. If you don't want to do that, just leave it in standard D mode and enjoy your drive and have a effortless drive with this AMT variant of the Baleno. अभी कुछ लोगों को ये ज़रूर लगने वाला है that it is a downgrade coming from a CVT to an AMT, but I think it makes sense and this gearbox combination is also quite reasonable. अभी जब आप मैन्युअली ये गियर चेंजेस करने वाले हो, ऑफ कोर्स इट इज़ नॉट लाइटनिंग फास्ट, इट इज़ नॉट क्विक. थोड़ा लल ज़रूर है, थोड़ा वो गियर स्विच गियर चेंज होते समय टाइम लगता है, समय लगता है. बट देन बिकॉज दिस इज गोइंग टू कम एट अ मोर अफोर्डेबल प्राइस पॉइंट, this is justified, and Maruti Suzuki probably thinks that their customers are looking more for convenience and utility and not really at bragging rights. So because of that, they have offered this to us, an AMT gearbox. Right now, we are going to sprint again, but this time I want you to notice कितना head nod जो है वो आपको feel होगा, which means just try to understand how much of a lull there is between those gear shifts जब आप इस गाड़ी को तेज चलाना चाहते हो, when you really want to reach somewhere faster. So let's check it out. Let's straighten up the wheel and now kicking the accelerator pedal. Listen to the engine. हेड नॉट जो है वो काफी नोटिसेबल है. एंड इट इज क्वाइट jerky if you are really driving it fast if you are really driving this car hard. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको झटका फील होगा, but it is just that the head nod is quite prominent and you will feel it. There is no denying that fact. तो जब आप गाड़ी पूरी तरह से pedal to the metal चलाने वाले हो, this AMT gearbox is not really meant for that. Can you do it? Definitely, yes you can. But is it exciting? Are you going to get that thrill of driving with an AMT? Not really. This is meant for convenience, and convenience is what you get. Let us try that one more time. Keep looking at me. Noticeable head nod. सेकेंड गियर में गाड़ी जो है लगभग 85 किलोमीटर पर आवर की स्पीड अचीव कर लेती है. So it is reasonably quick, and even at high speeds ज़्यादा विंड नॉइज कैबिन के अंदर सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है. There is not too much of wind buffeting at close to 90 to 100 kilometers per hour. So overall, I think the cabin insulation is quite good. Over 110 kilometers per hour थोड़ा बहुत विंड नॉइज आपको कैबिन में सुनाई देना शुरू हो जाता है, but then that is typical in this particular segment. अगर आप 100 किलोमीटर पर आवर से ज़्यादा तेज़ गाड़ी चलाने वाले हो, थोड़ा बहुत आवाज़ गाड़ी के अंदर सुनाई देना लाजमी है. So that's pretty much it about the gearbox. This is a 5-speed AMT and it is reasonably responsive जब आप गाड़ी तेज़ चलाना चाहते हो. If you are on a series of bends and if you are feathering the throttle, the gearbox is smart enough to switch between those gears to upshift or downshift to keep you in the meat of the power band, so that you can make overtaking maneuvers or you can climb that particular ghat quickly. So it is not dumb, it is not slow. It is slow when you compare it to other torque converter automatics or CVTs. This Baleno, although it competes directly with the i20, it is a little low on hardware now. But where the Baleno shines is in comfort and convenience. राइड क्वालिटी जो है वो काफ़ी बढ़िया है. सस्पेंशन सेटअप जो है इट इज़ रीवर्क्ड एंड इट टिपिकल ऑफ एवरी अदर मारुति कार सोक्स अप द इंडियन टेरेन क्वाइट वेल. यू आर वेरी कंफर्टेबल इनसाइड द कैबिन. सीट जो है काफ़ी सॉफ्ट है. सीट एक्चुअली थोड़ी ज़्यादा ही सॉफ्ट है. सो अपार्ट फ्रॉम द सस्पेंशन सोकिंग ऑफ द बम्प्स, इवन द सीट्स गिव यू दैट नाइस कुशनी फीलिंग. दिस माइट नॉट बी आइडियल फॉर रियल लॉन्ग रन्स ऑन लॉन्ग टूर्स, बट फॉर योर सिटी कम्यूट्स आप इस सीट पे काफ़ी खुश रहोगे. द सस्पेंशन सेटअप इज़ नाइस एंड फ्लैट इवन अराउंड कॉर्नर्स. जब आप इस गाड़ी को तेज़ चलाने वाले हो, डायनामिकली द बलेनो इज़ अ वेल सॉर्टेड व्हीकल. सो द chassis balance, the body balance is also quite good. Also you are getting ESP with hill hold now with this car, so that also ensures that your car maintains a nice and safe line. In terms of the suspension setup, I have no complaints. Moving over speed breakers, the biggest of speed breakers, ground clearance was not a concern. Rumbler patch पे से जब हम गाड़ी चलाते हैं, it maintains a nice straight line. No problems in that department as well. And खराब से खराब रास्तों पे से भी आप इस गाड़ी को confidently चला पाओगे. You can buy any Maruti Suzuki car and drive anywhere in the country and you will have no problems. That is something that we all know. The next point to talk about is the steering wheel. इस बलेनो के साथ आपको एक EPS यूनिट मिल रहा है. इट इज़ वेरी वेरी लाइट एंड एफर्टलेस इनसाइड द सिटी. इट जस्ट लैक्स सेंटर पुल बैक बिकॉज यू कैन नोटिस दिस. इफ यू लीव इट, it stays there, it doesn't come back to the center position. I would have liked if the center pullback was a little stronger and if the wheel felt a little more heavier than what it is right now. But overall, जब आप corners encounter करते हो, the steering wheel is nice and direct. It gives you a good sense of where the wheels are pointing, so you will have no problems in terms of pushing this car to the limits. Check this out, single-handed operation when I want to make a U-turn. And this Baleno is just such an effortless car. The steering wheel is just so effortless. तो शहरों में जब आप ये गाड़ी चलाने वाले हो, आपको इसे चलाते समय ज़्यादा मेहनत नहीं करनी होगी. At parking speeds, the steering wheel is going to be very very light, and when you will pick up pace, it does weigh up a little, but the steering wheel is not the most dynamically rich. It is not the most feedback rich. There are better feeling wheels in this particular segment, more than what this Baleno can offer. But for the average Indian, for the daily commuter, for someone who is looking at the car from a utility perspective, he or she will have no complaints with this wheel, because for them, when you want to go from point A to point B, this will keep them happy. But I have been pleasantly impressed with how this car has been handling today. These series of bends, I've been driving over here non-stop for the past 30-40 minutes, and never was I scared, and never did the car throw any surprise. So a proper premium hatchback and a reasonable, sensible package, and a very easy to understand vehicle as well. So you can know your limits first, then push this car to the limits, and you can still have fun with this Baleno. So the steering wheel and suspension setup, good enough for the segment and decently exciting. Not the best, but reasonable to have fun nevertheless. अगला पॉइंट जिसके बारे में मुझे बात करनी है, दैट इज द ब्रेक्स। इस गाड़ी के साथ आपको आगे के पहियों पे डिस्क ब्रेक मिलता है, पीछे आपको ड्रम ब्रेक सेटअप मिल रहा है, एंड द ब्रेकिंग पावर इज मोर देन सफिशिएंट। ब्रेकिंग हार्डवेयर जो है इसे भी अपग्रेड किया गया है। द ब्रेक डिस्क्स आर लार्जर देन व्हाट दे यूज्ड टू बी, सो योर स्टॉपिंग पावर इज डेफिनेटली बेटर देन व्हाट इट यूज्ड टू बी compared to the old Baleno. So you can, drive it hard, drive it fast, and be sure that you can easily control this premium hatch. टायर्स की अगर बात करें तो आपको इस Baleno के साथ अपोलो रबर कंपाउंड मिल रहा है, एंड थ्रू आउट माई रिव्यू ड्राइव एक्सपीरियंस आई हैव हैड नो प्रॉब्लम्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ द ग्रिप दैट आई नीडेड व्हेन आई वाज पुशिंग दिस कार. सो नो कंप्लेंट्स इन दैट डिपार्टमेंट एज वेल. विजिबिलिटी जो है काफ़ी बढ़िया है. इस गाड़ी में आपको 360 डिग्री कैमरा सपोर्ट भी मिल रहा है. सो यू कैन ड्राइव दिस कार वेरी इजीली एंड सेफली. चारों कॉर्नर्स जो हैं गाड़ी के समझने में काफ़ी आसान है. ड्राइवर सीट हाइट एडजस्टेबल है. मेरी हाइट है 5 फीट 8 इंचेस. मैं बैठा हूँ एट द लोएस्ट सीट हाइट. द विंग मिरर्स आर जनरस. यू गेट अ गुड व्यू ऑफ व्हाट इज अप्रोचिंग यू फ्रॉम बिहाइंड. यू गेट एन इलेक्ट्रोक्रोमिक रेयर व्यू मिरर. ये चीज़ काफ़ी काम आएगी जब आप गाड़ी रात को चलाते हो, बिकॉज देर आर अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आउट ऑन द इंडियन स्ट्रीट्स हु ड्राइव विद देयर हाई बीम ऑन even inside city limits, and that is a stupid thing to do, by the way. The next big party trick of this Baleno is that head up display. इसे आप बंद कर सकते हो if you don't want it, if you think it is too gimmicky. But if you want this car to feel sporty, if you want to have all the modern techie features, that head up display is segment best, and it is probably a feature that you don't even see in 2 or 3 segments above. So this is definitely going to be a good sales pitch and a talking point अगर आप ये गाड़ी शोरूम में देखने चले जाते हो. आपको इस हेड अप डिस्प्ले में 4 अलग अलग लेआउट्स मिलते हैं. So you can choose between what information you want to consume when you are on the go. So that also will keep you engaged during your drive with this Baleno. Now although that head up display might make you believe that this is a sporty car, आपको पैडल शिफ्ट्स इस गाड़ी के साथ नहीं मिल रहे हैं. मैनुअल गियर चेंज फंक्शनैलिटी जो है दैट इज ओनली वाया दिस गियर स्टिक. ऑल्सो ये जो हेड अप डिस्प्ले है इट माइट बी अ लिटिल डिस्ट्रैक्टिंग फॉर सम न्यूबी ड्राइवर्स. तो अगर आप पहली बार कोई गाड़ी खरीद रहे हो, अगर ये आपकी पहली कार होने वाली है, उस हेड अप डिस्प्ले को देखते रह के पूरी तरह से डिस्ट्रैक्ट मत होइएगा. ट्राई टू कीप इट ऑफ इनिशियली इन योर इनिशियल डेज ऑफ ओनरशिप टिल द टाइम यू आर comfortable and confident driving this car, and then pop it open so that you can consume all the information straight in your point of view, in your field of view when you're looking at the road, and you don't have to glance at the speedometer cluster. Not that looking at the speedometer is really all that odd, but it is just a nice feature to have. माइलेज की अगर बात करें तो मारुति सुजुकी का क्लेम तो 20 kmpl प्लस है. You will achieve that if you are very gentle with your throttle input and if you stay well within your speed limits. आज जब हम इस गाड़ी को गोवा में चला रहे हैं, we were inside city limits for a while and now we are out on the open roads. The mileage that I could see on the MID was 17 kmpl. with this AGS, AMT or automatic gearbox option, whatever you would like to call it. 17 kmpl with the convenience of an automatic is a good number. On a long highway drive, I am sure it will be very close to 20 kmpl as well. अगर आप 2 या 3 लोग होंगे गाड़ी में, along with luggage. So in terms of efficiency, just like any other Maruti Suzuki car, you will have no problems with this Baleno. So guys, that is pretty much it. That is all that I want to share with you about this Maruti Suzuki Baleno 1.2 liter petrol AMT variant. अगर आपके और कोई सवाल है, do ask me in the comments below. I will try my best to help you out so that you can make an informed car buying decision. Do check out the manual gearbox option drive review video जो हमने अलग upload किया है. Also check out the exterior design video and the interior review video as well, so that you get to know everything about this new Baleno which is now on sale in the Indian market. See you soon. Subscribe to the Shifting Gears channel, press that bell icon, always drive safe, always try to have both your hands on the steering wheel, it will give you more confidence, and always guys, wear your seat belts.